Tuesday book, March 31st, and I am here to do a video request from lots of people. Yeah, long time coming, but I am going to split this up into two parts because I just recorded it and it was 30 minutes and I wasn't finished yet. I got cut off, and so I'm going to condense it, and it's going to be two parts, but the way I'm going to lay it out will be different. So as you can tell by the title, Getting Started with Homeschooling book is what I'm going to talk about. And there are different resources which I will touch on. If you need any more explanation, just leave me a comment and I will go back in and touch on just that specific thing. But basically, what I recommend, the person that, I know one of the persons that asked for this video is in Texas, like I am. And so our homeschool laws, we don't have any. We don't have any set curriculums. The only thing is our curriculum. Homeschooling must be, we must use a bona fide curriculum, not a sham, meaning we cannot claim to homeschool and not do anything. Bona fide, a Dollar Tree workbook is bona fide. As long as the child is using it, you're teaching it, hey, it works. So I do keep records and keep track of things just for my own sake. Other states, they do require it. I will just suggest you check out your laws in your own state when you are ready to start. That way you have a basis as to what you need to do. I have also homeschooled in California, and there we were allowed to go through the district and use the school district curriculum and manipulatives and things like that, just like a library checkout, and that was nice. So here we are. First thing I recommend is my right hand. I still reference it time to time. Anybody asks, this is where I recommend that they start. Mary Pride. Is I? Yes. It, like it says, it is the complete guide. Mary Pride is a publisher of Practical Homeschooling. I also recommend, but it just covers everything. Really, Zai? Uh-oh, Mom. And she has a smirk on her face. I needed that stuff. So, now I have to reorganize. That's okay. So, yes, recommend getting this book, reading this book, and just going at it. And, it is worth it. Check eBay. Check Amazon. But very in-depth. It's about 620 pages of just everything you need to know, from what's so good about homeschooling to successes to planning to unit studies, which you'll get into later, to homeschool methods. Sorry, Zai. Homeschooling special needs. And then in the back, can I use this for just a second? There's a section with essays and contests. I think scholarships. And she is so taking my book. And there is a rundown of, here we go, homeschool laws by state and territory. So you will want to get familiar with this book. You will find great things in the margin. Do not skip the margins. There's also references to different books and things like that. So if you've never homeschooled, or even if you have, this is where to start, right here. This book by my table in this magazine thing. according, well, along with all my other current references that I'm using. Okay, next up, my other right hand right now is the weekly curriculum. Are you upset? And what is the 52 preschool themes? This is really early preschool up to second grade. So don't be fooled. This book is expensive, but it is very worth it. I think the lowest I've seen it probably is about 20, maybe $26. Amazon. But it's kind of hard to find too. You can also check eBay. I think they probably run about 30. I didn't have to pay that much for mine. But pull this out. Oh, okay. I have to attempt to do this with a toddler. Barbara Backer. Excellent. If you have no clue where to start after that first book, this is it. Just get this one. And it is complete. It starts with an introduction. You get special holidays, special days, first week of school, second week of school, and just weekly things that you do. It also is broken down into theme units. We have giant pandas, 5 senses week, National Pancake Day, Dr. Seuss's birthday, and let me go on to show you. And that's just it. There's a couple pictures in here, sprinkled with pictures. But there are, it tells you the materials you need. If it's a recipe deal, you know, something really short. Okay. But what I do with that is I will go through and take notes. I just use a basic notebook. Let's see. And I pick up whichever one's handy. So that's why this one is back in August. We were doing wiggle your toes, learn about your feet and toes. That science, it covers pretty much every subject. Science, art, math, language arts. If there's another book like the Foot Book by Dr. Seuss, I put that in here so that I don't forget. And there's a list of like 10 things, and we don't do all 10 in one day. We'll pick, it just depends. Sometimes we'll make it through 1, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes all 10, if this is all we're focusing on. But it's, you know, pretty much a week. We try to do different things, which is why I don't stress about doing all of them, because it is a theme of the week. So you go through there and you check out what you need and ingredients for what have you, like ants on a log and things like that. And I just, like I said, jot my notes down. That way I can reference it. A lot of times I will write the book in the page, because I do have other books that I use, and they can get a little bit confusing if I don't remember, especially if it's just a quick note and not. This is pretty much how I write out my lesson plan. But if it's just a note or an idea, I'll write a page, and that's it. That's it. And this usually goes in a binder, but as you can see, it's not in a binder right at the moment. And I just use a regular 3-ring binder. I think it's a 1 or 2 inch at a time. I don't like them too big. I'll just use different ones with the zipper pencil pouches. Okay, so next up, I recommend, you okay? What your preschooler needs to know. Also, you can find these on eBay. Preferably, you will find them in a lot. Yeah, that's VeggieTales. Can hold on, I'll get it. You'll find them in a lot, and what I mean is, I'm not gonna pull them all out. I don't think, because I'm holding her, but as you can see, there's 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade. I have 4th, 5th, 6th, and then there's middle years. And you can see they're pretty big books. They are aligned with Common Core standards. We are not a Common Core state, but I still like to see, have a basic background to what it's about. Not that I agree with it. I just want to know what it's about and kind of show them. So, yeah, that's another thing about Texas. I love no Common Core. So there's poems in here. There's songs. There's stories like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Let's see. Tisket a Tasket song. History. The First Americans. George Washington. Science. Animals and Living Things. There's art. Noah's Ark. What parents of preschoolers need to know. So there are pictures in here. So a lot of times we just use this at night. We sit down and read a story. We use the songs for circle time in the morning. Things like that. And it just gives you a basic guide as to where they should be falling during that grade. And along with this, are you just unhappy? See, I'm just been cranky, Mom. She's been sick today. I follow scope and sequence with the kids. And if you don't know it, yes, you put your hand in there. If you don't know what scope and sequence is, just go and Google it. And so, scope and sequence for our state guidelines, just as a basis, it's pretty much an order that the kids should be learning things. Like, you cannot teach them how to read without teaching them the alphabet. That type of thing. So the order in which they should learn things. And that's how I make sure that they're on point. That's how I assess them. I go every couple of months and make sure we hit those points. And if they need reviews, I don't advance them. So we're using right now for the twins kinder. Well, we've been using that. We're just about done with this. And preschool for the 2 and 1 year old. So like I said, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just a little more in depth as the grades get higher, so that they understand more. And there's some activities in here. They'll give you some extend the activity by asking your child words that rhyme, poetry collections. So that's what that is. And I'm trying to think before I move on. I think I am actually just gonna kind of talk for a few minutes and then cut it, because the next part will make it extremely long. But yeah, what I don't recommend is buying a box curriculum, especially here in Texas. You don't really need it. Like I said, with these books, I've given you the best, and they will get you through. I mean, I know this one is the early years, but you can find something comparable and pull from there. You just need a good, solid curriculum book like this that will give you all your themes, and I'll get into that in the next video. There's actually something else that you can use. Or you can do like I did for my middle schooler. This stuff is not even his. I did buy boxed, part of a box. I found the best box curriculum, but only bought one subject. The best, it's just everybody uses it. So I bought that one subject, and it's going to take him through high school. So I'm done with that. But everything else, I just pull and choose. What else? Until you learn your learning style, your child's learning style, that's another thing. Assess them, figure out where they are, go online and try to, you can check out assessing the child's learning style, and it'll just ask you a lot of questions and tell you where they fall, and that's how you can figure it best to teach them. Like I have one that is very auditory, and it took me a little bit to figure out, because they're twins, and I can't do with her what I can do with him, because half the time she's running around the room bouncing off the walls and who knows what. Because she just has to move, which is why, importantly, unschooling. That's mentioned in the Mary Pride's book. We do a lot of unschooling, meaning it's child led. So we don't get up at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, start school. We do night school. We start at 4. And we start at 4. We usually go until about 8, and then they'll take a break and then take a bath, and we'll do story time and things like that and finish the discussion. But I found that in the morning they wake up and they're just too full of energy and they cannot sit and focus. It's just too much. And I could, end up teaching the same thing twice or 3 times if everybody's all over the place, or I could just wait till they're focused. They will get, during this time after nap time, they're asleep. Now they'll get their books and they'll sit down and they know it's time for school. So I just let them do that way, and that way in the morning I can do phone calls, I can do videos, I can do my lesson planning, things like that. Catch up on paperwork and checking things. Or if I have to work with my son, because he's pretty much the older one, the 7th grader, I have that time to do that with him. So let's see, as far as materials, if you have watched my homeschool room video or tour from July, if I remember, I'll link it. If not, go back and check for July. It is long, but well worth it. The manipulatives and things, dollar store, mainly Goodwill and the thrift store. But I recommend you just start with what you have and pull things. Like I separated their books from the cartoon books, the Disney books. I left those in their room. Books that we could use that were like related to people or the ocean or things like that. I brought those out into the schoolroom. And then just bought from there and separated them from there. Things like puzzles, those are automatically schoolroom things. Blocks, those are schoolroom things. So you can take what you have around your house right now and start. You don't have to wait till you get this big sum of money and go buy all this stuff. Don't do that. You need to, the important thing is using what you have. Learn how to be resourceful. My kids will play with an oatmeal box and oatmeal container and some cotton balls, and that is very educational. So don't think you have to get all this stuff. It's it's a learning curve. But the books, yes, they will give you a good basis, a good peace of mind, so that you can understand what you're doing and know that you are not alone. So, like I said, I am going to cut this, and I am going to go to part 2 and just talk about how I actually put together my curriculum, because I still have one more thing that I have not shown, or one more great resource that I recommend. So anyhow, thank you for watching. Subscribe, thumbs up, comment. Bye.